If you want to activate your goddess power, self-care is an absolute imperative part of your day. Yes, every day. You must pamper yourself. You must take care of your mind, body, and spirit. And with us today is this amazing woman, Colleen O'Donnell, and she is actually leading events that are called Self-Care Sundays with Colleen. I'm so excited to talk with you, Colleen. Welcome to the Goddess Power Show.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. It's really a pleasure to be here. I love the concept of what you do. It's so important for for everyone to step into their power, but women in particular in this era that we're living in, where we're trying to do it all and be it all and have it all, that our energy can really get drained. It can get just sucked right out of us as we give to our family, we give to our community, we give to our job. We may be involved in other projects, as hobbies that, even though it's fun, we take on responsibility, and it's another place that we're sending our energy off. And we need to be able to replenish that energy and have some strategies to do that. So, yes, I'm
Yes.
so excited about launching the Self-Care Sundays.
Awesome, awesome. Well, let's start off by you telling us what does that entail?
So, with these particular workshops, and they are not exclusive to women, but we need strategies. And one of those strategies is just making the decision. So, step one is making the decision to actually focus on your own self-care, right? We can't do a thing if we don't make a decision and set aside time to do that thing. So that's part of the power of the Self-Care Sundays, is making a commitment to yourself and carving out that time on a Sunday to devote that time to yourself. And so we'll be learning strategies so we'll be doing some yoga, we'll be doing some meditation, and then we will also take some time through the meditations and through some other exercises to explore our emotions, explore
Nice.
things that might be blocking us from doing the things that we want to do, from devoting more time to pursuing our passions, to reaching towards our dreams, our long-term dreams in life and our big goals, because those always get pushed aside, in the day-to-day rush to do this thing and that thing and not let person X, Y, or Z down, because we said we were going to do this thing, and that when that day comes, you're like, oh no, I have nothing left to give. But then you reach inside and you pull it out. And so every time you do that, when you reach deep inside at a time when you feel like you have nothing left to give, and you pull that out because someone else is expecting that from you, you are depleting even your reserves, like your deep, deep,
Ooh,
deep reserves.
yeah.
So yes, there's only so long that you can do that before
Mhm.
you start to notice issues.
Right.
Maybe it's just that you look tired, and you look in the mirror and you go, oh God, I look tired. Or you're gaining weight because you're in stress mode so much of the time, and your cortisol hormone is just pumping, pumping, pumping into your blood because your body's like in freak out mode, and that's the hormone that gets secreted. And the purpose of that hormone is to help you get through those times. But if you're constantly in that mode, you're really stressing your adrenals, and you're putting stress on your whole body system. So
Hmm. Hmm.
really important to take the time for yourself. It makes a difference. And even if it's only little pieces of time, 5 minutes here, 15 minutes there, it adds up to a
Hmm.
big difference.
Hmm.
And you may feel like, oh, I'm focused right now, I'm at work, I'm doing this thing, and I don't want to stop because it's, then I have to get my mind back into it. Like, okay, maybe you don't have to take a break right then, but when you find a natural stopping place, do take that break,
Yes.
and like go grab your yoga mat or hang in your yoga swing, and like, let your whole spine decompress. It's so important. The spine
Yes.
actually is, that is like the suppleness of your spine is an indicator of your overall health and
Mm-hmm.
usefulness and energy level. So if you have a
Mm-hmm.
good supple spine, you're able to do more and stay healthier.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love
yoga,
it.
yoga
So,
really helps.
Colleen, oh, I love that so much. So, self-care really starts with a decision to make it a priority. And then you're doing these workshops, it's a series. And is the goal to teach people what they can do and get the momentum going for their self-care Sundays on their own?
Yes, exactly. That's it
Mm-hmm.
exactly. You get it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So
So you're a,
yeah, so they'll walk away with a self-care action plan, with a gratitude journal, and with a bunch of other strategies. They'll also get recipes for personal care products that they can make for themselves at home that
mm-hmm.
are made of good, healthy, natural products that will help your skin, your hair, um, pretty much every part of your body, your face, your lips.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's
I love that.
people are getting a lot in this four session course,
Mm-hmm.
and part of the reason that I'm doing it this way, and it's like right now it's an introductory, like really inexpensive price too. If you pay ahead and if you pay in cash or like you cover the PayPal fees or whatever, you can get all four classes for $80.
Oh, wow. That's
I
amazing.
know. So I
Yeah.
really, this is so I'm just launching this course, and I really want people to love it. I really
Mm-hmm.
want some glowing reviews, and so yes, we're offering it really inexpensively, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to meet some new people and give
Yes.
them some great strategies.
I love it. So you're doing it at the Kundalini Center in Detroit, is that right?
Yes, yes. The
Okay.
name of it is Kundalini Yoga in Detroit.
Okay.
It's in the U of D neighborhood in Detroit near 6 Mile in Livernois.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a beautiful space. It is absolutely gorgeous. If you go to the website, you can see a little taste of how beautiful it is inside. But until you go in there, it's like
Mm-hmm.
when you walk through the door, it's like your whole body just goes, ah, because it has there's just a beautiful energy in there. They also do a lot of gong sessions in there, gong baths, and you so where people sit there for an hour or 2 hours and just feel the vibration of the gong and allow that vibration to heal them.
Mm-hmm.
And so the between the gongs and the Kundalini yoga that happens in there and
Mm-hmm.
all the beautiful things that they have decorating the space,
Mm-hmm.
it's just magical. It's my
Oh.
favorite yoga space. I've been in a lot of yoga studios, and
Mm-hmm.
their space is truly my favorite.
I can't wait. So, Colleen, is there a way for people to participate remotely?
You know, if there is enough interest, we may do a remote option. Yes.
Okay.
And if we don't do it this session, then I may offer it in a follow-up session. But
Okay.
yeah, if I'm hearing from people that they really want to be able to access it remotely,
Mm-hmm.
I will definitely consider that. Yeah, it's
Okay.
like I say, it's a new class, and also people are going to be tapping into deep emotion, right? So it's not something that'll ever be streamed publicly, and I want at least not the full class, because so it's very participatory, right? It's about engagement. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not just me telling people and people doing a thing. They are really actively involved in the process throughout the class. And
Nice.
so, yes. And so, you know, privacy is going to be really important. It's one of those situations where what is discussed here stays here.
Mm-hmm.
And so people can let out um, difficult emotional things maybe that they've been grappling with, if there's a troublesome relationship that's giving them challenges, or any other area of their life. You know, sometimes poor health is connected with something that we feel ashamed about, like it's cloaked in shame, right? And so it's really hard to let that out, but it's really important, because once you let go of that, you can blossom and evolve
Mm-hmm.
and really step into your truest self.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, so we'll be inviting people to do things like that. And so, yeah, yeah, if it's a select group of people who want to participate online, and yeah, and they're serious about it, yeah, we'll make that
Okay.
goal.
I love that. So, Colleen, you are so dynamic. I love that you're a belly dancer, that you actually recently went to Egypt, where you took a belly dancing experience course performance, which was amazing. And you are a certified yoga teacher, and you have many other talents and skills. You're a journalist, and that's how we clicked initially. So, can you talk about your self-care journey? How did you become inspired to do all of these things that are now helping others?
Yeah, that is a great question. It's a beautiful question. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
So I would say at various points in my life, I've been aware of the need to step up self-care, but it's become really acute recently. And it's always a give and take, right? Because we have a lot of things that we're trying to balance in our lives. I mean, for me right now, for the past 6 years, I have been the full-time caregiver for my mother, my elderly mother. Yes, she's 88 years old.
Wow.
And I came back to Michigan. I'm from Michigan. I grew up in Detroit and went to Detroit public schools. And but I was living a lot of different places. I was living abroad in Europe for a while, and then I was in Arizona for quite a number of years. And when my mom was diagnosed with her heart condition, I knew immediately. I mean, she was hospitalized for 8 days, and I just went into a panic. You know, if you're in Arizona and your mom is in Michigan and she's in the hospital for 8 days, I felt very powerless. I mean, my stepdad passed away in 2010, and so she had been on her own since then. I have step siblings here in town who had, you know, they'd been helping out with mom, you know, taking her to the occasional doctor appointment or this thing or that thing. And but I knew that I couldn't just leave it over to them, that it was time. I'd actually been trying for 3 years to get my mom to come out to Arizona.
Mm.
And well, finally, a unit came open in my building, like just one floor down from me, and she wouldn't take it. And I was like, when that happened, I knew. I'm like, she's never coming to Arizona. So
Oh.
I had to come out here. And it was, you know, self-care a lot of times too is about um, admitting those things that we would rather sometimes hide, but being stepping into our authentic selves is so healthy for us. So
Mm-hmm.
another thing I was going through at that very time is I was freshly divorced. Yes, it had been less than 6 months since my divorce became final. And so it just, all those things came together, and I was like, I have to move back to Michigan. So I did. And it was a big step. And there was, you know, I went through a lot of changes as a result of that. But right now, what's happening for me is my mom has a tremendous amount of needs, and I work a very demanding full-time job. And so it's perfectly common for me to work at least 10 hours of overtime. I'm a salary, so I don't see extra money for that. But it's you do what it takes to get the job done, right? So so there's a lot of things that are pulling on me. I'm taking my mother multiple times a week to different doctors. She's got like a dozen different doctors she needs to see. And she's been in and out of the hospital 4 times in the last 8 months. And so it's you know, I feel it. And we had to put our cat down in December, and I love that cat so much. It tore my heart to pieces, and I don't have my little buddy now who sits with me doing my yoga. And you know, it just is she yeah, I mean, they do say, the doctors have actually said that you when you're petting a cat, it is actually releasing the happy hormones, right? into your brain. Your
Oh.
brain gets flooded with oxytocin, which is the
Uh-huh.
bonding hormone, which is
Mm-hmm.
one of the really important female hormones.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, men have it too, but in smaller amounts. But for
Mm-hmm.
women, it's very important to some of the classic roles and benefits of being a woman, and the fact that we understand relationships in general. Now I'm speaking in general because everybody's different. There are always exceptions to this, but on average, women are better at relationships and at the skills that it takes to maintain relationships. And oxytocin is a really crucial part of that process.
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, so missing my cat, and it's just, I've been in a little bit of I guess, a crisis mode, and I knew, actually, I had already made the decision to do the self-care workshops before some of these things happened. But it's like sometimes when you make a decision, like the universe just throws all these things at you. Like, are you sure you want to do this? Or, like, how hard are you going to work for this? And I was just like, oh, okay. I'm pulling on the rope. I'm climbing up the hill. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I look so tired. How am I going to teach people about self-care? How am I going to be credible?
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought at the end, you just have to release that and just know that you've been led to this path. You've done the work to get here,
Mm-hmm.
and just do it. Show up as your authentic self. And if it resonates with people, the people that are going to resonate will be there, right? It'll attract
Mm-hmm.
them. So,
Mm-hmm. So what did you start with?
so in creating the course,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
No, with
So,
your own self-care regimen.
oh, with my own self-care regimen. Oh, okay. Well, so one of the things that's most important for me is doing some yoga daily. And even if it's only 5 or 10 minutes, if that's the only thing I can squeeze into the day to do that piece. Honestly, sometimes going to get a massage is a real lifesaver, but also things that are really easy to do at home: an Epsom salt bath,
Mm-hmm.
um, a foot massage for
Mm-hmm.
yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? Some facial massages, doing some facial treatments, um, and then bigger things, taking the time to go meet with friends, especially girlfriends. That girlfriend energy is, it's really uplifting, and even if a girlfriend that you're spending time with is going through a hard time emotionally, just being able to be there for someone else is actually can be really uplifting, to feel needed in that way, and to see instantly the rewards that that person feels better, and you help to make a difference for that person. It really, it can open up your heart. Speaking of opening up our hearts, because there's a lot of things that can shut our hearts down.
Mm-hmm.
Grief is a really big one that can shut your heart down, or betrayal. So if you've experienced grief or betrayal, you know that feeling, like somebody just punched a hole in your chest and tore your heart out, and there's just this gaping hole there, and it feels like you're just in a vacuum of emptiness. And so one of the things that we work on in this course is opening up our hearts.
Ooh, how do
And
you do that?
there's a Kundalini yoga set for that.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love it. Wait,
yes.
can you talk about what is Kundalini Yoga? Because once I discovered it in 2013, I was just hooked. It is so magical. It activates energy within you that is just infinite. So, can you define what is it and how is it different from other yoga?
Sure, yes. So when I found Kundalini yoga, I had done other kinds of yoga before, mostly hatha yoga, and the flow yoga, yin yoga. There's and Ashtanga yoga. There's a bunch of different yogas, and I liked them. But when I found Kundalini yoga, it was like the holy grail of yoga for me.
Hmm.
It is truly about channeling energy. You do a lot of breath work, like in in what most people think of as yoga, which is mostly the hatha yogas, there's a lot of holding static poses. Now, granted, you breathe into those poses and you work on releasing and relaxing into those poses. But in Kundalini yoga, you're very often moving. It's there's a lot. It's a lot more dynamic, and you do a lot deeper breath work with Kundalini yoga. There's a lot of different types of breath that we do. There's breath of fire. There's lion breath, and it's very. So you oxygenate your blood a lot because you're doing a lot of deep breathing. So that's one way you can get instant energy. I mean, some people love doing Kundalini yoga because they get quote unquote high from doing it. It's a natural high. It's, I mean, I've never been a long distance runner, so I don't have personal experience in what the runner's high feels like. But I imagine it's a very similar thing because you are just fully oxygenated after doing this work. And it's, when I say work, a lot of it isn't, so it's not acrobatic. There's a lot of types of yoga that look really acrobatic, and most people, when they see that, they think, all right, I'm never going to be able to do yoga. Kundalini yoga, you don't need any special skills. You can be a total yoga beginner. You can be someone who is recovering from an injury, or someone who hasn't done any exercise in decades, and you can start doing Kundalini yoga and feel some instant benefits from it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. What are the benefits?
So in addition to the increased energy levels and the oxygenating the blood, which is going to help heal anything in the body that's amiss, because that's basically what your blood is doing, is carrying oxygen to those parts to help them rebuild. Also, it's increasing blood flow to all areas of the body, which again is going to help heal things. And I may be making it sound a little strenuous, but honestly, if you can breathe, you can do Kundalini yoga. Truly, there's a place for you to start. You start where you are. And you can, so some more benefits. You activate the parasympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic nervous system is the one that activates when you're in fight or flight stress mode. And the parasympathetic nervous system is the one that activates when you are relaxed. And it opens up your creativity. It opens up your ability to bond and feel happiness and joy in the moment, and to be in relationship and community with other people, because you're in that relaxed state. So yeah, so those are just a few of the benefits. And then there are Kundalini yoga sets for basically everything you can possibly imagine. There's a Kundalini yoga set for addiction. There's a Kundalini yoga set for your kidneys, and for the lungs, for the heart, pretty much for every part of your body that could need some special attention. And there's one of my favorite Kundalini yoga sets, which we'll actually be doing in the workshop, is called Awakening to Your 10 Bodies.
Ooh, so what does that mean?
You might think that you only have one body, but in yoga, we learn that we actually have 10 bodies. So the first body is actually your soul, right? So soul being, a lot of people have a definition for a soul. There are some religious connotations around the word soul, but basically what we're talking about when we refer to soul is who you are at your deepest core. So the things that are important to you, like when everything else goes away and you're just you, and you can turn inside and spend some time with yourself. What are the things that bring you joy? What are the things that matter the most to you in life? What are the qualities that you seek in relationships? So all of these are part of who you are in your soul. And then the next body is the physical body. That's what most of us think of when we hear the word body. Then you also have the mind. The mind is part of your body, and the mind actually has three parts. So you've got the negative mind, the positive mind, and the neutral mind. Yes. So the negative mind's job is to be hyper vigilant and look for potential problems. You know, your brain is always trying to protect you from uh, danger and from mistakes that you've made in the past, so you don't repeat them. These all get stored in your brain, and your brain goes, "Whoa, you know, don't be careful if you're doing that, because remember this thing happened before when you did that." So that's the negative mind's job. The positive mind's job is to be like, "Oh my God, look at all these amazing possibilities. There's this and this and this that I could do. Isn't this awesome and amazing?" And two, it's the optimistic part of the mind. And then the neutral mind kind of sits above those two minds and says, okay, let's take a look at this. So this is what the negative mind is telling me. This is what the positive mind is telling me. Let's weigh this up and make some choices, right?
Wow.
What's going to be best for us? What is going to bring us the bliss that we're seeking, and or the deep meaning that we're seeking, with the least amount of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are some bodies that are more conceptual,
Mm-hmm.
but yet exist. So we have our aura. We have so the aura is an energy field around you that can actually be seen with certain spectrum photography, and people's auras can. I mean, ordinarily you have every color in your aura, and it's a white aura if you have a really strong aura. But as we know, when you break light down into its component parts, it is the rainbow, all the different colors of the rainbow. And some people, depending on what their soul is calling them to, may be shining brighter with a different color in their aura. And that
Ooh,
corresponds, yes, it corresponds to the chakras in the body. So these energy centers, we'll learn more about that in the workshop too.
excellent. Very
Yeah.
cool. Mm-hmm.
And so there's other bodies, but it'll take a little while to explain them all. So I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if we have time for that. But yeah, if people come to the workshop, they'll learn more about the other bodies.
Beautiful. It's so important to understand the energy centers and the chakra system and being able to clear the energy, balance it on a daily basis because it just makes magic happen in your mind, body, and spirit. So, Colleen, I'm so excited that you're bringing this knowledge to people because self-care, like I say, is a non-negotiable part of everybody's life. It should be a top priority. It doesn't have to be going to the spa. It can be just pampering yourself with a positive mindset or affirmations or doing crystals or whatever it is that makes you happy. My personal self-care on a daily basis is like it ranges from so many things to yoga, to going to the gym as I did tonight, to eating foods and really enjoying what I eat and savoring my creamy coffee and, just making sure that I'm enjoying life moment to moment because that's really all we have. So, I'm so excited about you doing this, and I'm grateful that you came to the Goddess Power Show. So, Colleen, can you tell people where they can register for your course?
Yes. And Elizabeth, it's been such a pleasure talking with you. So if people would like to register for the course, they can go to kundaliniyogaindetroit.com and register there. And I've got a blog on that website all about this class and about the importance of self-care. Yeah.
Okay. Whether you're listening or watching, I will have the link here so that you can learn more. And Colleen, tell us the dates of your course.
So the course begins on February 4th,
Hmm.
and then we'll be meeting again on February 18th, March 3rd, and March 10th.
Great. Can someone take one class or do they have to take all four?
Yes. So the drop-in fee is $25 if you want to take just one class, and you can take multiple just one classes. But if you register for the whole thing, you get the discount.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, I hope you have a wonderful turnout, and I hope this is the first of many very successful courses that you offer. And again, I'm so grateful that you came on here to emphasize that self-care is not selfish and that it's something that everybody should do every single day. So, Colleen, do you have any final words?
I love it. Self-care is not selfish. And you got to put your own mask on before you help others. Just like on the
Yes.
airplane, right?
Yes, always. I love that. All right, Colleen, you're such a special person and you truly are a goddess, a belly dancer at that, which is so amazing. So maybe we can talk about that another time.
Yeah, well, I would love to talk about that with you. You're
Okay.
you're amazing, Elizabeth. I love what you
Oh,
do, and it was my pleasure to be on here talking with you. Thank you so much for having
yay, yay, yay,
me.
yay. And all the people who get to watch and listen get the treat of meeting you and hearing your wisdom and hopefully taking your course. So,
Yes, yes. And now that you brought it up about the online, I think I really have to do that. So,
yeah, to offer a virtual component because
hmm
then people can join from anywhere.
right, right.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Colleen O'Donnell. You're amazing. And I wish you the absolute best.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
You're welcome. Mwah.
Bye. Bye.